16, 17, 19. Blimey. Okay. Episode 19. Here we are again. Today, we are talking about how we adapt in our business to stay alive, or as we said before rolling, adapt or die. How has your business changed and adapted over the years, Whiskers?
That is a family nickname.
I know, I love it.
How has it changed? Okay, so the most obvious thing to me is that when I first started, obviously I couldn't just wake up one day and say, right, I do voiceover for a living now. I'm making loads of money straight away from voiceover. Some people do that.
You mean it doesn't work like that?
For some people, they think it does.
Okay.
So I had to do other things. And the other things was just drawing on skills that I had or that I'd built up over the years. So it'd be little bits of photography here and there, did some headshots, by no means to your standard.
Better.
No, no, they were not. They are okay. You know, they served a purpose for the business I did them for. Bits of website stuff, some social media writing, and actually touching on something that questioned at the end of the last episode, writing jokes for businesses on Twitter or for their Twitter accounts. And it's those sorts of things I don't do anymore.
Yeah.
Because that was never my goal, to do all of those things. So when voiceover started to take over, I could gradually drop them bits off. I do have a couple of clients now where it's not voiceover, but it's more in the zone, in the umbrella, shall we say, of audio.
Nice.
So I do podcast editing, which has come because of voiceover.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I had, again, no plan for it, and I didn't seek it out. It happened because people worked out that I edited audio for myself and asked if I would do their podcasts. And then once you get a couple, other people hear about it, etc., etc. So it's changed in respect for the stuff that I had to do to make money, or have to do to make money. I don't need to take on things that I'd rather not be doing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I did it for the money. I don't mind admitting that. I needed the money because I was redundant. The money was running out. I couldn't become a voice actor overnight, so I needed other things to do. So it's changed in that regard. And I think it's changed in terms of brand, I think you could say. I'm more confident in myself.
Yeah.
So that's coming into my brand in terms of... So let's put it this way. When I first started out, I was told as a voice actor, you don't really need a logo or anything like that. You just put your name on your business card. I was like, right, okay. So I had a bright salmon business card.
Oh.
I was going to say amazing. It wasn't amazing.
It sounds amazing.
I don't know if I'll let you have one. If I've still got one.
I'll frame it.
My mum's got all of my business cards. I've had three different ones.
That's sweet.
The first one is salmon pink.
Yeah.
The next one was where I was trying to be a bit more pro, shall we say, so professional voice actor.
Okay.
It had one of your headshots on it, the one where I'm sort of laughing, looking down.
Oh yes,
which I love that picture.
Yeah,
it's so
picture.
so real. But again, my colours went from salmon to black, dark grey, another couple of greys.
Okay, all the greys.
So it was just dry, I guess. Until someone said to me, "Oh, so when you talk at networking events and just chatting with me, you come across as quite sort of approachable, friendly." And then I look on your website and it's just goth.
Amazing. Yeah.
So I thought, oh, okay, so I'm bringing myself to networking events now. So I need to grow into the other areas. So got the logo done, got the all the colours done on the websites, which actually came after the logo because it all tied in.
Makes sense.
So now I feel more complete I feel that I am the business now. It makes sense, rather than I'm trying to become a business.
Yeah. Well, there's a big we've had lots of discussions about businesses, well, mostly self-employed people. So there's just them in the business, and them saying we. I presume to give that illusion that it's, well, firstly, future-proofing themselves when they do potentially grow, but also giving that perception that they're bigger than they are to attract those clients, which absolutely makes sense. Whereas if you go the other way and actually do what you've done, and there's also another, again, sort of observing sort of TCC members talking about becoming a limited company, or all these things, getting accountants and all those things that potentially you feel that you need to do to say that you have a business. You've gone the other way, and actually you are your business and you're already settled with that, which is probably why you're having that kind of success, because you're leaning into it.
Yes. I was going to pick up on something and it's gone.
Okay.
It's gone.
That was my fault for rambling on.
It was probably something really sort of in-depth, deep,
philosophical. But yeah, so there's absolutely two ways of going about it, isn't there? So
got it.
Here it is.
It's more. I think it might be more tricky for a voice actor to say we. So I couldn't say it because I am clearly the only person producing that voice work
in Martin Whiskin voice.
Yeah, and that's the name of the bit. Such a genius name.
Did you workshop that?
Yeah. Literally for weeks. Should it be voice over or voice space over hyphen or not? I don't know. Still undecided. And now is it voice actor?
So many questions.
But yeah, so for me, that was never a thing. But that doesn't mean to say I haven't had people doing stuff for me. It's just I'm trying to think of another industry where it wouldn't make sense to say we.
Well, if you wanted to say we, you could brand yourself as a voiceover artist agency, and you'd have to change your name to, I don't know, Whiskers Voice Agency or something. I mean, that works.
I mean, I'm for that.
That works. So you'd have to change everything. But it is a lot easier for. I mean, I'm in the same position in terms of Benjamin Film and Photography. Well, there's only me in the business, then, isn't there?
Same question. How did you come up with that name?
Well, there is a bit of it's not a funny story, but when I first started my first website, it was just photography, and I wanted to go down the niche of shooting everything on 35mm film. So it started...
Did you wear a neckerchief?
Well, I was halfway there with a big hipster beard anyway, and I had a denim jacket. So, and then I thought, well, that's perfect. Benjamin, my name, film photography, because that's what I did. But as I brought video in, I thought, this is genius. I don't even need to change anything here. I just put an and.
Yeah.
Benjamin Film and Photography. So that's where it started.
Yeah.
The counter to sort of having a single name but not being able to scale, well, it happens all the time with brands. And like Greg's is the perfect one, isn't it? Weatherspoons is just one name, but it becomes the brand. So I don't think it stops you. But something like Nicky, NDH Productions, that's great if you wanted to scale Nicky, because it's a lot easier rather than one single name. So sort of separating yourself from your name works in that way.
So in terms of adapting or dying,
yes,
let's move to that.
Okay.
Have you had to adapt because there was a risk of your business dying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to answer this.
Or not growing, I think, because it doesn't have to be the fatalistic sort of. No,
but then if your business isn't growing to a certain extent, you won't be in business, will you? Because inflation happens, life happens. You can't actually
Water bills.
Well, yeah, you can't be if you were earning the same as you were 15 years ago, you wouldn't be in business. So you have. I think there is that. In terms of the adaptations or how I've adapted over the years, if you sort of look at the timeline, well, it's gone from film photography. That was never going to, last. But so digital photography. Then I brought video in shortly after that. And then after that, it was drone. And that now has become sort of the bedrock of the business, really. And then once you're there, and a question to you is, and myself, of course, is where is the industry going next, and how are you going to be ahead of that? Or not even ahead of it, but are you aware of potentially the direction of travel? Obviously, I mean, everything's AI. Everything is, there's lots of discussions about AI, about how that's going to change things. And obviously voiceover, that's potentially could alter the whole thing massively. It could alter everything in the film industry to a certain extent. So, yeah, I think you've always got to be aware of what's coming next so it doesn't blindside you. Because if you're blindsided, you're too late. Because it just means that, the revolution has happened and you're way behind.
There's something that I'm trying to bring back from my last real job. And the boss there would go to meetings for pitching for work for the company, knowing full well that we didn't have the capacity or the knowledge how to do that. And his opinion was always, if we get it, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of thinking about that a bit more now in terms of like what we were talking about on the way over. So I edit podcasts, but I only do audio, for example. So if someone says to me now, can you, because I have had it in the past and I've said no up until this point, can you do video as well? No, but I will work it out. I'll get people to do that part of it.
Yeah.
Just cream off of the top and do nothing.
Project
whatsoever.
management fee.
So I'm trying to bring that in a bit, I think.
But so basically what you're saying is you're not, it's not a hard no.
Yeah, so be more open to, and that comes from, is it The Go-Giver or maybe even How to Win? No, it's The Go-Giver, I think. Just be open to opportunity, be aware that there's other stuff out there that you could do. Podcast editing. Yeah. I didn't do that a few years ago, but I do now.
Exactly.
And I enjoy it. So it's wise to not just, and there's no shame in doing something else in your business as well. I don't think.
No, I think that has big links to what we were talking about in the last episode in terms of identity and imposter syndrome. If you were doing thumbnails for a client, is there a part of you that said, well, this is weird because I'm a voiceover artist. I shouldn't be doing thumbnails in my business. Whereas actually, the other way to look at it is, no, I'm self-employed in the creative industry, and it's all linked.
I think, I don't think I mind that as long as I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say yes to stuff that I think I'm probably not going to enjoy. But I know that I edited some photos for you a while ago.
Did a bloody good job.
Thank you very much. It's not what I do most of the time, but I can do that stuff. And if I've got the time, I will say yes, because why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Means I'll be able to have dinner that week.
Yeah. You can have sausage and baked beans rather than just baked beans.
Thanks,
That's
mate.
a dream, isn't it?
Thanks, mate. See, I don't think there's any... I think some people think you have to be what you say you are. I think it's quite a strong thing in that if you're not just doing voiceover, you're a failure.
Yeah. It's that's rife in the videography and photography sector too.
But the people that are only doing that and not working enough sometimes refuse to do anything else because they think they should only be doing that. And I think that's silly. So that's not adapting at all. That's just being stuck in it's just being stubborn, isn't it?
Well, yeah. And I mean, that's exactly the whole point of this conversation, is that if you are too stuck in your ways, yes, you can stick to your principles, and yes, you can stick to what you want to enjoy doing or what your passion is, and that's amazing. But I wouldn't. But you can't have that attitude and also be disappointed that it's not working out. Because what does happen a lot is people are so entrenched and they wonder why, and they're just the people that don't want to be proactive, and they're just like moaning basically, and they can't understand why, they're not doing well.
Bringing it back to AI as well, I think there's some people that are just going down the fear spiral,
Okay.
and not adapting because they're just focusing on, well, that's it then.
Yeah.
That it's over,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Well, it's easier to be like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, misery loves company.
Oh, yes.
So
That's why we get along so well.
yeah, exactly. Bloody miserable together.
So to sum up,
Yes.
adapt or die. Well, obviously you have to adapt.
Just quickly before we sum up, a question that I wanted to ask you, because I think it's really relevant for you, and keep it short and then we wrap up.
Try.
But knowing you as I do, you put a lot of time and effort into your business. With the adaptations that with the future the way it potentially is, with AI and technology, how are you going to adapt? Or how do you think you're going to have to adapt?
So I already have.
Yeah, of course he has. Of course he bloody has.
So when it first started kicking off, my initial thought was nothing's going to change. It's not that I didn't believe that at the time, but I think my thought process has changed. So I think it's because everyone was shouting, I'm scared of AI. That I thought, okay, well, I'll work towards something anyway. And it was literally just to stay ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Get better at what I do.
Yeah.
Lean more into the acting side of it than just the promotional corporate sort of voiceover, because AI voices still can't act. They can narrate, but they can't do acting. So I've spent a couple of years training on that side of voiceover, which I'd never done before. Just about to release my new reel.
Check the link in the comments.
So with a view to be doing things like radio drama, and podcast dramas and that sort of thing, which is a revenue stream that I've never explored before. So there's that, but it's just a case of trying to be better than what is coming.
Yeah.
Always staying ahead of that. And if I'm doing that, I'm doing more than a lot of other voice actors who are scared. So I'm trying just being proactive.
Love it. Okay, mate. Well, that's... quiz time.
Can I just surprise you?
Quiz time.
Here we go. That was the last one. So I don't even know the answer to this one yet.
Brilliant.
Would I rather wear pyjamas to a party? I guess we should say formal sort of party. Would I rather wear pyjamas to a party or my party outfit to bed?
Party outfit to bed.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Thanks, mate. 3-1.
Because I've seen the people in Asda in their pyjamas.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
But, whoa. That was expertly done. You realised that you were
I was digging that hole.
You were digging that hole.
Very
You were
quickly.
driving down a cul-de-sac really quickly and thought, I know what I'll do. I'm going to pass that ball to Ben.
Yeah.
And I think they're lovely people.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
Lovely stuff.